Hi, I'm Charlie Pate from Tight Lines Fly Fishing Company, and today I'm going to be tying a quick version of Coffey's Sparkle Minnow. The original Sparkle Minnow was tied with material called angel hair in a dubbing loop. But a neat, kind of newer product is this Enrico Puglisi Sparkle Brush, which essentially just is a pre-made dubbing loop with wire of an angel hair type material. So, I'm going to tie this fly on a TMC 5262 in size 4. And I've got a big gold bead on the head of that hook. I'm going to put a little lead wire on the body, weight the fly. The tail is just white marabou. And I'm going to put a little bit of pearl crystal flash in the tail as well. And then the body is just going to be this EP Sparkle Brush. Something important about using these brushes is the thread, and you want a very, very stout thread. I'm going to be using GSP 100 in white. The brush has a wire core on the inside. It's just important that you can really crank on your thread to secure that down. So I'm going to start my thread and go to the back of the hook here, right to the barb, tying a white marabou tail. I like the tail to be fairly long on this fly. You can get a real nice jigging motion. So I'm going to go about 1 1/4 lengths to shank the hook. This is a great streamer for trout, and we use it for smallmouth bass a bunch too. Put a little pearl crystal flash along both sides of the tail. Trim those just a little bit longer than the marabou. Just make sure our tail is secured. I'm going to run some lead wire on the shank. I like this to be a pretty heavy fly. We're going to pile on the wire here. Slide that up to the bead. Then I'm going to tie in our sparkle brush. Now what you want to do is bring your thread forward just a little bit instead of tying it right in at the tail. You get a bunch of real good pressure on that wire, or it'll spin around the hook. And bring your thread forward. Now, start wrapping that brush. The fly won't look like much until you finish it up here and really comb it out with a piece of Velcro. And go right up against the bead. tie the brush off, and again, this is where that GSP really comes in handy, because you can put a bunch of good pressure and not break your thread. So I'm going to whip finish right behind the bead. One thing that you need to make sure you do with GSP is do about a 10-turn whip finish instead of 6 or 8 turns. The thread's real slippery. Now, doesn't look like much here, but as soon as you brush that out, get a nice big bait fish profile. It gets so big, sometimes it helps to trim it down a little. Actually rip a bunch of it. There we have it. Quick, easy sparkle minnow.